Okay, I think I'm live. Hello, everyone. Okay, I'm just inviting. I hope everyone can see and hear me all right. Oh, hey, Zoe, you nailed it.
Hi.
Hi, happy Sunday.
Same to you. I've got these ridiculous headphones in. I look a bit crazy, so sorry about that.
Don't worry, I've got huge glasses on so no one can see how tired I look, so it's
I
all
love
good.
them.
How are
I
you
love
doing
them.
today?
I'm very good. I'm feeling a little bit smug because I went for a little jog earlier round the block.
Oh, you're allowed to feel smug for that.
I literally, it's like a once a month occurrence between the months of April and October only.
Yes, I totally understand. I'm very much a fair weather outdoors person, so I
Yeah.
totally get it.
So I
Oh,
did
it's
that.
so good.
Yes, I
Sorry,
did,
you
I did
say, you
that.
say.
And my husband has just shuffled the kids out the front door so that we don't have to listen to Pokemon in the background. So yeah, it's so nice to see you. I love all your fabric behind you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've just been getting ready. I'm doing a de-stash next weekend.
Are
So there's not
you?
as much, there's actual gaps, which is weird.
So is this the
Don't
stuff
know
that
what
you're
they are.
keeping?
Yeah, this is the stuff I'm keeping. Yeah. Yeah. So
Which
hand
is
sold
very
people.
inspiring.
It's the
Don't
colourful
get me
stuff.
ideas.
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh, it's so good to see you. I do apologise. I am very snotty, and
Oh,
yeah, if
bless
I run off
you.
camera, it's just because I need to blow my nose or whatever.
Oh,
But yes, the line is very very faint this morning, so I'll hopefully be out tomorrow, which would be great.
oh, what a cock on.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway, so it's May. It feels like your month, and I'm so excited to have you on the 8th of May to talk about what you've been up to, and maybe in a nutshell, do you want to start with your sewing journey and tell people where and how you started?
oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna make this quick. Okay, sewing has always been in my family. Both my mum and my nan were seamstresses at some point. So sewing was always something that kind of happened in the background, not necessarily as like a kind of creative endeavor, but as the way to make fancy dress clothes and to make things fit better and stuff like that. And then I eventually went to university and did fashion design, and I really particularly enjoyed the making and the kind of so the construction and the pattern cutting were more my kind of jam. I've never seen myself particularly as a designer. So I did that. I really loved it. Oh, lost the headphone. And then I
Oh, where's it gone? Has everyone got a frozen screen, or is it just me? Oh no! Wait 1 second. If you're just joining us now, and if you can see one of us, we're just trying to reconnect. Oh dear, okay. It might have been the headphone. That happened to me the other day. The headphone messes it all up. It's my fault. I shouldn't have asked. Okay, right. Yeah, because I always recommend headphones so that we don't get an echo. But really, Zoe, don't worry if headphones are causing a problem, because they did for
am
me.
back.
So sometimes taking a headphone out can stop the video, and I don't know
Oh,
why.
okay.
It's a really
Apologies.
silly thing. But you're
I'm
back.
good.
So yes, so you were at university.
Yes, I did that, and then I ended up working in clothing companies in my 20s, and I found it super disheartening. But that was also a time when I was kind of getting really into making things for myself. I've always kind of made bags on the side to sell and things like that. And then I really kind of got involved in the online sewing community around 2007 and got super inspired by all the amazing stuff that was happening on that kind of burgeoning online sewing community. Things like Burda style, wardrobe fashion. That's where a lot of people were kind of congregating and inspiring each other. And that was kind of when I was working in this really awful fast fashion company, and I was like, I can't do this anymore because this is the opposite of what I'm interested
Yeah.
in my real life. So I ended up quitting that, and then I moved to Spain. And because I actually ended up with quite a lot of time during the days, I was kind of doing childcare, so that was kind of after school hours. I had all this time in the day, and I really got into garment sewing then, and I was blogging a lot. And so that was really super fun, and I was experimenting with different types of fabric and different kind of styles of garment, and that's really what kind of lit a fire under my bum a bit with garment sewing. And then I ended up with all these clothes that I'd made, and I kind of put them all on a rail one day to see what they looked like, and they kind of look like a wardrobe, you know.
Yeah.
That's exciting. But I always felt this kind of disconnect with how I felt towards them compared to how I felt towards ready-to-wear garments. For some reason, I didn't feel like I could like trust them in the same way, which I know is bonkers.
I totally understand that. Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm really watching Lee in case they fall out again. Yeah, exactly. So then I was really feeling like, oh, I don't know, maybe I need to something needs to change. Oh no, I've lost the headphone again. Sorry.
Do you want to take the headphones out? I feel like that if they're annoying you, don't worry. We'll deal with any kind of echo. It'll be fine.
Okay, if they fall out again, then yes, I feel they're wedged together. Yeah, so I felt like I needed to kind of get over this disconnect somehow, because I saw these amazing people online wearing their awesome stuff, and I was like, I was wearing it, but I kind of felt a bit self-conscious. I wasn't sure if it was going to kind of fall apart, you know, as I was wearing it. So that's kind of the impetus for the first Me Made challenge, which was actually a solo challenge I did in March of 2009, I believe. Yeah.
God.
So I challenged myself to wear only self-made things, excluding at the time bras, socks, tights and shoes. So everything else was things that I made. And I was taking photos, and I put them on my blog so people could kind of see what I was doing. It was quite a boring month in terms of my outfits, because I didn't have very many kind of like warm clothes, and it was actually quite a chilly month. But I did it, and I learned a lot, and I definitely felt like I'd kind of got over the hump of trusting my clothes, you know.
Definitely. And it led to so much. So how did it suddenly become, you know, let's get everyone else involved? Did people kind of write to you saying, I want to do this too?
No, what it was, it's like, because I'd accessed only kind of a small section really of the clothing that I'd made at the time, I thought, I want to try this again in a slightly warmer month. So I thought, let's have a go. Yeah, let's have a go in May. So just a couple of months later. So I popped up on my blog, because I had some nice comments throughout, you know, my challenge. So I popped up on my blog, would anyone like to kind of take part as well? You know, maybe to a different degree. Maybe you could wear just like one thing that you've made yourself or something like that. So I thought that maybe there'd be like literally like a small handful of people that could all kind of like, you know, encourage each other and check in on each other. But it ended up being something like 70 people, I think, that first time.
Wow.
Yeah, which was amazing and so inspiring. Like people all over the world, you know, were wearing their things. And it was so exciting. So I got a bit of it overexcited, and I did another one in September, which was self-stitched September. And it actually took a couple of, and it actually took a couple of years for it to become an annual challenge that happens only in May. So so it's been going since 2009, and it's been on quite an evolution, and it's just kind of got massive.
I mean, I scrolled through a couple of nights ago, because, you know, researching for this stuff, and I just scrolled through and I was almost in tears, because I was like, this has been something that you just started on a whim that for you, and now it has taken over people's lives. It's changed people's lives. It's changed the community for the better. Like, people bringing everyone together in May, I feel like we're all in this thing, and it really, especially at the moment, and especially the last 2 years, it kept us going. Like, it got us dressed.
Well, that was it. In 2020, I was like, literally 2020, kind of March, April, I was like, what do I do? Do I just stay quiet? Do we just like slowly back away from the whole idea? So I was really back and forth, like, is this something that people need? Is this something people want? Is it going to be like just another stress when the world's basically broken? So I was really umming and ahhing. So I put up like, I'm putting it out there, you know, I've made the logo. If you want to do it, please only take part, only challenge yourself if you feel you are able, if you feel you've got the brain space. And if you do so, please be very gentle with yourself, because nobody needed an extra, you know, pressure on top of course. And it was actually lovely, and it was really beautiful. And so many people were like, this is what I need. I need to connect with people. I need to get out of my leggings. I need to feel like
Yes,
myself.
yes,
You
out
know?
my pajamas in my
Yeah,
case.
exactly. Even if they're me made, it's great. But I think there is
Yeah,
something about, because when you make your own clothes, you literally have to make every single decision about that garment for it to be in existence, don't you? Or refashion or upcycle in some way. Like, you have to make so many decisions to personalize it to you. You can't help that.
yeah,
And it really has a piece of you inside it. And I think when people are just wearing their pajamas or just wearing their sweatpants or whatever, it's it's comfy and it's fine, but there's something missing. I think there's a sort of lack of
definitely.
connection with yourself, you know. And I think that's what
Yeah,
people were missing, and that was lovely. And I had so many comments of people saying, "This is exactly what I needed. Thank you so much." So,
yeah,
yeah, I was thinking like, I don't know, but it turned out for the best. So yeah, it's just a
yeah. No,
lovely
I'm
example
so
of how people
pleased you
miss
did
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, May would not be the same. I mean, we all in the sewing community start talking about March, April, going, oh, May's coming soon. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's an
yeah.
exciting month because of you. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. It definitely feels like a celebration, which I'm really happy about.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So I love your podcast. I love Check Your Thread. It's
Oh,
such a
thank
wonderful
you.
podcast. You talk to so many great people, and also your own knowledge and everything is so wonderful. So I
Oh,
would
thank
love to hear
you.
about where that started. Where did the seed of starting a podcast start from?
Oh, that is such a good question. Okay, so tiny backtrack. I taught sewing classes and dressmaking classes for about 8 years up until the first lockdown. And podcasts were always a massive part of my life during that time because I was living on the south coast, but largely working in London or working in a different part of Sussex. So I spent a lot of time on trains and buses. And podcasts were what kind of kept me sane, to be honest. And also having young children, you know, my kids are now 8 and 5. Having young
Yeah.
kids is a kind of isolating time, or it can be. So having that connection with like the wider world felt like I was kind of part of something. So podcast has been really important to me and continues to be really important to me as a way to kind of feel connected and to grow. So and I guess like I've been blogging for a long time, and I guess I was because blogging was the kind of primary way that the sewing community used to interact, wasn't it? Kind of like before
Yeah.
Instagram, before Flickr, things like that. So that's kind of now on the wane, and also comments aren't so lively. I've actually had to switch the comments off on my blog, which I hated doing,
Mm,
but I was getting up to like 50 spam comments a day. So literally,
yeah.
I had all the like "you are a human" and all that kind of, but I couldn't. So it really felt like I was just kind of broadcasting without any kind of feedback, you know, which I didn't really kind
Mm.
of like. And I just was excited to see, like, wouldn't it be fun to have conversations? Because I was kind of collecting all these links and all these, you know, bookmarks of people doing interesting things, exploring interesting kind of aspects of sewing and sustainability. And I thought, that's a bit strange just contacting them saying, will you talk to me, isn't it? But it's a bit less strange if you contact them saying, will you speak to me for my podcast? You know?
Yes, yes, exactly. So it's a good excuse to talk to all these people.
Definitely, definitely. And I just thought it would be a fun way to explore a new to me kind of medium really. As you have experienced yourself, don't
Yeah,
you?
exactly. Yeah. Well, you're such a natural at it. I mean, the first episode, I was like, oh, yeah, you're the perfect person to do this. So
Oh,
it's
bless
so,
you,
so
thank
lovely.
you.
Yeah,
I
no,
think
it really
I
is. And
channel.
no, sorry, you say.
So I was just going to say, I think I channel a lot of the energy that I used to put into teaching classes. I now kind of that goes into the podcast. So I get the kind of connection that I really loved from in-person classes, but kind of through the podcast now, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's really good for that. So do you still teach at all, actually, Zoe?
Not right now. Not right now. Life has got very busy.
Yeah.
I work on the podcast 3 days a week, and I work at Fabric Godmother 2 days a week. So there's
Oh, I didn't know
yeah. So
that. With
I've worked
Josie, you lucky thing.
yeah, I've worked there for nearly 4 years now. My job is ordering sewing patterns and haberdashery, and putting it on the website. So it's kind of a dream, really, because like I love knowing what's going on in the sewing community.
Yeah.
I love to know what's coming out, trends, things that new pattern companies. So I really enjoy, like, I have to know what's going on and I have to kind of be plugged in. So that's really fun. So I work there, and then my kids are still quite small. I still have to collect them from school. And so
Which is a
not that
full-time
much
job in
time.
itself. Yeah.
Exactly. And everything that having a home and a life and being responsible for small people entails. So, and also, like, teaching is largely something you do at the weekends, and there's just not a lot of time. I
Yeah.
have to be with my family a bit and take them to swimming lessons and things like
Of
that. So
course. Yeah,
never
totally.
say
And I mean,
never.
you've got enough going on. I wouldn't worry about that.
I would love to, though. I would love to. I do really miss that connection. And I actually helped out at a sustainability event recently where I was kind of showing people how to do some clothes mending. And I just
Oh,
thought,
lovely.
I really enjoy this. When you're talking to somebody who's enthusiastic and wants to learn, it's so lovely. It's such a
Yeah.
nice experience. So, yeah, definitely something I think I might come back to in the future, but I can't see it in the immediate future, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. Are you finding any time to make stuff yourself as well? I mean, obviously I've seen that you're challenging yourself this meme I've made to do different outfits, which I love, and new
Yeah.
kind of combinations. But are you
Yeah.
kind of making what's happening with your sewing?
Always making, always making.
Yeah,
I have to.
good.
Honestly, I don't necessarily like the phrase sewing is my therapy, because I think therapy is therapy. But definitely something that I need for my mental health. There's something very fulfilling about creating something. It's how I clothe myself. It's how I largely clothe my kids, although I do get a lot of secondhand stuff for them also. It's something I have to do, and even if there's days where it doesn't happen, but even if it's like 15 minutes whilst the potatoes are boiling,
Yeah.
I'll do something just to kind of feel like I've made some progress in an area that is mine. And also, like, I've really noticed recently that I'm the kind of person that is an ambivert. Do you know of this?
No, go on, tell me.
So it's not an introvert and it's not an extrovert. An ambivert is people that get, they need both. They need to have contact with people and they need some time on their own. And
Me too. I'm definitely an
are
ambivert.
you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, when I saw the description, I was like, I feel seen. This is me. So
Yeah.
there's a little bit of time where if I'm doing some sewing, like, I'm just focusing on my thing. It's like I do it in my dining area, like it's in our kind of main family space, but it's something where I can just kind of focus and and I kind of need that. Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh,
You're adult.
definitely.
You've got a little cute shed, haven't you?
Yes, yeah, I'm in it right now. Yeah, and this is like my bubble. I need it every day. And to be honest, I can just come out here. I'm very, very lucky and just like breathe and look at fabric and be like, okay,
Sure.
I can get on with my day. It's like,
Sure.
sometimes I pretend I'm going to the loo and I just come out here and I'm like, okay, right, let's carry on with the day.
I'm glad you've got that. I really am. It's so
I'm very
hard because
lucky to have it.
your little one's really little still, isn't she?
Yeah, she's 3 years old, so she's keeping me very busy.
3-year-old is intense, isn't it? Because, like, they can communicate quite well, but they still have no
Yeah.
logic.
Yeah. Yeah, and because
Oh,
she's so smart as well, so I keep thinking that she kind of knows more than she does, and I'm like, how do you not understand? And I'm like, of course, because you're
yeah.
3.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
even
You
though we
can
have
have a
in-depth
conversation.
conversations, yeah, it's quite crazy actually. It's such a strange time,
It,
but
yeah,
but
it
yeah,
is.
we're very lucky. And are any of your kids kind of showing any signs of wanting to sew as well?
Yes, so during lockdown, I started doing some sewing projects with my daughter when she was about 6, and I actually let her on my machine, which was a bold move, but
Yes.
with like the speed down, and I was like hovering over, and actually she got quite proficient, and she can now, if she feels like doing something, she'll jump. She knows now she needs to ask me before she uses the machine in case it's got the wrong needle in it for her project. But she's got her own tub of leftovers and scraps that she rummages
Oh.
in, and she whips up the odd little thing. She doesn't have very much patience, so they're very kind of quick little things, like she'll whip up a little cushion for her doll or something like that. But we're actually together in installments making the Liz Hayward zero waste doll pattern. Have you seen that?
Oh, That is so lovely. No, but I love the fact that you're doing that together.
Yeah, it's maybe slightly kind of the seam allowance is very tiny, so I think maybe it was not quite the right project for her. But we've been doing it together, and we're stuffing it with scraps, and she's
Oh,
actually she's done the like embroidered the face, and she's actually done a really good job. It was like
and
kind
that's
of
hard. I can't do that.
yeah, I know, but I had to kind of there was a little bit of no, we're not. You can't do anything else until you finish that eye, because otherwise we're going to make no progress on this. But she's done it, and I think that she'll have a real sense of achievement when she's created it. And we had a lot of fun. We went in the Easter holidays. We went to like a haberdashery, and she chose what yarn to have for the hair and things like that. So she's going to be putting her own stamp on it pretty soon. So it's been really sweet to work on that with her.
Oh, you've got to share pictures of that. That sounds so
definitely.
lovely.
I've been putting it in my stories for kind of progress, but I'll put something on my feed. And also during lockdown, we made the closet core poof together.
Oh yes, yeah, I made one as well.
Did you?
Yeah, it's a great pattern.
Yeah, and it's really good for just practicing, just seam allowances, and we made ours out of denim, so it was nice and stable. Nothing too shifty around. So so that was that. My little boy, not so interested, but I definitely deployed some tactics to get him involved in the project. For example, if I'm making something for him, I'll give him some options,
Nice, yeah.
He's very enthusiastic, and so I really just want to show him that sewing is a way that clothing can happen. It doesn't appear from the sky, wrapped in plastic, So hopefully he'll have some of knowledge, even if he doesn't decide to actively get involved himself. Like, he'll have a greater appreciation, hopefully.
That's lovely. Oh, that's so. I mean, it's so nice to get your kids involved with it all as well, because as you say, like just having an understanding of it and the sustainability of it, which is you're so big on as well. It's really lovely. Yeah, exactly. So I'd love to. Oh gosh, it's already nearly running out of time. It goes so quickly.
But
do you want to tell us? I know. But I would love to kind of hear, going back to Me Made May, because obviously this is May and everything. What do you have kind of envision for it? Do you think it's just running and it's off or anything, or have you got kind of like a goal in mind, because there's hundreds of thousands of people involved now, right?
Yeah,
I was trying to find out how many, but
it's impossible to know. I checked on the Me Made May hashtag, Me Made May 2022 hashtag.
Yeah.
I checked on it maybe 3 days ago, and it already had something like 13,000 posts. So it's kind of crazy.
Amazing.
My envision,
and that's only people that are posting about it, because there's also a whole other world of people that aren't posting about it.
I mean, I'm not even posting about it. Literally, like I'm doing. I'm not. I think I've done maybe one post so far. I'm doing a little thing where I'm trying to take a little video each day. Like I'm doing the one every day app thing.
It's brilliant that.
Yeah. So I'm going to create like a little tiny movie as like to kind of encapsulate not only the challenge but also like life. I thought that would be a nice thing to have. So
that's great.
Yeah, so it's got massive. My massive goal for it this year, which I think to a certain extent I have achieved, is to really bring it back to what it's about and really emphasize that it is a personal challenge. Not necessarily it's not a photo challenge. If you don't want to take photos, that's fine. It's not a competition. It's not about just showing off all your me-mades. It's about setting yourself a pledge, setting yourself a goal that's challenging but doable, to learn lessons about your wardrobe and learn lessons that then you can take into into your making in the future,
Yeah.
So,
so I've definitely learned already, like, a few days in, I was like, right, I don't wear dresses anymore. I really don't. I mean, I'm wearing one today, but kind of, like, but yeah, I definitely, I always learn from it every year. I'm always like, oh, this is it's brilliant for me to kind of have a place where, for me, recording it is a really big part of it. So looking back through my pictures of the last few Mays and how much I've changed as a sewer and a person, it's really cool. So yeah, I think you learned so much.
Yeah. I think if you're doing anything with a little bit more intention than you normally do, you can't help but learn from it, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I think
well,
being able to support it with some podcast episodes this year has been really good. I've had a lot of comments of people saying, oh, I heard that podcast episode. Oh, I didn't realize what it was about before. Now I'm really excited to get involved. So that's been really good. So I really feel that has brought the message back. And so that's my goal, really, just to help people to continue to actually learn and actually get involved, no matter where you're at with your making journey. If you've even got one handmade item, you know.
Yeah, that's really lovely. And how about for Check Your Thread? What's coming up next?
Oh my goodness, I'm very excited with Check Your Thread. I've done a couple of really fun recordings recently. I've got some fun ones coming up. I've got some people that I've been in contact with. And because things are less lockdowny and things are less COVIDy, but still COVIDy, some in-person bits and bobs coming up.
So that's exciting. Yeah, because I saw Fabric Godmother has an open day.
Say again?
Oh, okay, yeah, they are.
Sorry.
I was just saying, I saw Fabric Godmother has an open day coming up as well.
She's got 2 open days planned and a party. Did you see the party?
Oh! No, I did not see the party.
Yeah, so there's 2 open days coming up. One is in May, which I can't make because I've got plans, and there's one in July, which I will be there. I will be working at that one. And there is a party at the end of June to celebrate the final of this season's Great British Sewing Bee. So if you can make that, if you can get to Hove, I can't remember the date off the top of my head, but if you go on the Fabric Godmother website, you can buy tickets to that. I'm going to be there. I've actually been helping to plan it, so I know that there are no spoilers, but there's some really fun things going on. And you get a goodie bag, which you immediately make back your ticket price just with the goodie bag. So, and there's Prosecco.
Wow.
Sign me up for that.
You don't need to give us any more reasons. Everyone's like, right, how do I get to Hove?
Exactly. Checking the train times. How do I do this? It's very exciting.
And you
need to go
you cut off for a bit. Were you saying that you had, because you cut off for a bit, were you saying you had something for Check Your Thread that was public as well?
What was I saying about Check Your Thread? Oh, no, I think I was just saying that I'm going to be doing some more, I'm excited to try some things that are live. You know, I'm actually speaking to somebody in the flesh, because I think that brings a really different dynamic. And also, I'm thinking of branching out slightly and having some episodes that aren't strictly sewing and sustainability. So some things that are just more sewing and some things that are more sustainability adjacent. So I'm excited.
Nice.
Now I've got like a kind of set kind of formula almost, kind of branching out a bit and exploring, because I think if something's interesting to me, it's most likely going to be interesting to some of the other listeners, if not everybody. So yeah, I'm excited to come
Exactly. Oh, that's so wonderful. Well, thank you so much for talking to me, Zoe. It's been really, really lovely. Yeah, and I'm just so thankful to get to chat to you on your month.
Oh, bless you, my month.
We call it.
Everybody's month. It's everybody's month.
Every maker's month. And I just hope you have a lovely Sunday, and good luck with everything. One more cough.
I hope you feel better soon.
Thank you. But this is not good timing, because I need to just talk about our sponsors. So Rainbow Fabrics, they've got another new collection. It's all too tempting and it's amazing, and do check them out. And So Hayley Jane, her monthly subscription sewing boxes. If you're interested in sewing and you want a monthly thing to come through your post box that's going to help you make your next project, you must check out So Hayley Jane. And also Happy Fabric for their vinyl. So yeah, thank you all so much. Thank you for joining us. And Zoe, it's been so lovely.
Same. Hope to see you soon.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.